After listening to the podcast, this week in startups, I had a special for firing people. We gave a lot of great advice. I made some notes on it on my WordPress, and yeah, gave some opinions too a little bit, just more notes. But I also recently got fired before I listened to the podcast, so I really had something to think about and compare to. Got fired from a TaskRabbit job, and it was a temporary job of 4 days. I got canned in 2 days because I made YouTube videos kind of like this, but I pointed the camera towards the computer screen instead. But there's things to look out for when you hire somebody. I think the ultimate theme was evaluate your if you're the hiring manager, evaluate yourself, your policies. What are you doing? You got to look for certain indicators, certain clues that'll help you identify whether somebody's hireable or not. I tend not to be very hireable. I've gotten fired multiple times from different employers, and I've been accused of stealing to destroying property, and just not showing up for work. So there's things to look out for, I guess, for people like me. One thing I do struggle with are good references. I don't really have any. Okay, and that's something that they mentioned in this week in startups is make sure you look at good references, and call them too. Make it a standard to call those references and find out. Look for clues once again. If there's any indication that this person's abrasive, steals, will just not be a good worker, not the right fit. You want to look for those types of clues. You're weeding between the good candidates, and that's the strategy right there. So firing is the last resort. It's like calling the cops or something, or having to go to the hospital. It should be a last resort. You should have better preventative measures before that. So when you do accidentally hire the wrong person and things don't work out all right, you'll want to do it quickly. Okay, like they say, hire slowly and fire quickly. So just end it. Don't explain anything. Don't let it get emotional or whatever. You're doing the company, yourself, and the employee a favor. If they're not doing a good job, they have problems of their own they need to work out, and they can't work them out in the job. One thing I found interesting in the podcast was he said you can't change anybody. If they're bad workers, they're not. You're not there to change them. Okay, it's about finding the quality workers at the start. Not trying to be the mogul and influence people. The guy that run it, Jason Kalakanakis, said that he tried to counsel people when he was in his 20s, and it just didn't work out. It gets weird after if you do make an impact with the people anyway, and it's a different dynamic in the relationship, and you don't you want it to be good at the start. You want good people at the beginning. I know in my personal experience, I've never had to hire anybody, but used to own a house. Yeah, this homeless guy used to own a house and rented spare bedrooms out to make a little money, to save money on taxes, the yearly taxes. And I've taken in bad people that have had cops called to the house. And I thought I could influence people, and I was so naive. I was in my 20s. In my 30s, I would be like, no way. They would not be in my house. I had to put my foot down. I put my foot down for pets, against pets, for the most part. But I allowed questionable people, kids in their teens, to move in to a spare bedroom sometimes. Most of them were just bad news. Broken windows and cops called and just trashiness and attitudes. In my 20s, yeah, I just took the wrong approach, but I just thought I could help people more when being younger. All right, I'm gonna end this.